Hello everyone and welcome back to another Geek Studio review. As always, he is Sebastian, I am Joel, and this is a 2026 Cadillac Optiq Sport all-wheel drive, courtesy of the team over at Parker Cadillac. So Sebastian, we reviewed, I believe, a 25 Optiq.
Yep.
Not much changed, but there are some.
There's some tweaks that we'll talk about as we go along. I'll kind of give you some quick highlights real quick for the 2026 model year Optiq. All-wheel drive is now optional. There is now a rear-wheel drive version for 2026. Previously, these were all-wheel drive. Now you can get rear-wheel drive, which honestly, I kind of welcome that change because there's a lot of cases you probably don't need all-wheel drive. And if you can save $3,500 or so by not getting it,
don't really need it here in Arkansas, maybe but 2 days out of the year.
But this one is all-wheel drive, and since it's all-wheel drive, that's one of the other changes that happened in 2026. The all-wheel drive powertrain's got a power boost. So they have a little bit more horsepower. I think the rear motor is a little, if it's either the rear motor is stronger or it's the same rear motor and they beef the front motor. I just forgot which of the two it is. More power in 2026 if you get the all-wheel drive trim. And yeah, so I'm excited to look at it. There's a couple other little tweaks that we'll talk about as we go around, but really, we both really liked the Optiq the first time we drove it, so I'm just excited to get to spend time with one again.
FYI, you won't hear, but probably one of the better sound systems we've ever experienced in a vehicle is Optiq. All right, just like always, we'll do a quick outside tour, inside tour, infotainment, driving review, and then head back, can't talk today, to Parker Cadillac for our final thoughts, so stay tuned. We are back with our 2026 Cadillac Optiq. All right, Sebastian, let's do a quick tour.
Yeah, so this is the sport trim. So in the Optiq lineup, you have sport and luxury, and then you have the premium sport, premium luxury. So sport is technically kind of a base model, but instead of it having chrome accents, it's dark accented.
Which I prefer.
Okay. Coming around front, you have an LED, full LED lighting here. You have the LED vertical daytime running light, stack of LED headlight bulbs. When you got your grille, it does light up some. Let's see if we can get the camera to pick that up any. So when I unlock it, you should see the side. There it goes. Yep. It kind of lights up here around the outer edge. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. I can see it, yep. And then you got your vertical running lights there as well. And I believe, if I remember right, yeah, the Cadillac badge lights up too.
Yes, it does.
Now that the car is unlocked, we can take a look. These are the wheels that it comes on. Not bad. Pretty basic, pretty simple wheels. They look good. Here's one of the big changes for 2026. It's our first GM vehicle to go native NACS.
Yay.
So this shares powertrain or shares battery pack with Equinox EV, Blazer EV, things like that. So 85 kilowatt hour battery pack, 150 kilowatt peak DC fast charge rate. Pretty low voltage pack. It's like 300 something volts. So it still needs 500 amps to do that. So if you own one of these, you will get better charging plugging into the 350 kilowatt Electrify America station versus the 150 kilowatt Electrify America station, even though the car won't do more than 150 kilowatts. Anyway.
You digress.
10 to 80% is around 35 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. Power door, you do have to press a button to close it. There it goes. And again, huge shout out to Parker Cadillac for letting us borrow this. It says their name giant on the door. You have these door handles, which are neat. So when the car is locked, they sit in flush. When the car is locked, they sit in flush. When the car is unlocked,
there you go. You figured it out.
Coming around side, you have your typical Cadillac EV flourish here on the door. These little lines that kind of fade and transition into the vertical light bars here, as well as your then vertical running light here as well. And I believe these also do a slight dance when you unlock. Let's see. Hold on, give it a sec. Yeah, they just kind of fade on. Nice. Come around back here, open the trunk, press on the Cadillac badge. Comes another. And you can see really good sized cargo space in this for it to be the size SUV it is. You know, again, this is kind of that shared platform with Equinox. So it's about the same size, roughly. Good trunk space.
It feels bigger though for some reason.
Yeah.
We just did an Equinox.
So here is your Ultium charge cord. You can see this has the 110 outlet on it currently, and the native NACS handle. And it's like the other. It's got just a little bit of storage here. You can see it does have the included CCS to NACS adapter.
Sweet.
I'll take a peek of that. I'm curious. Which one is it? Is it the Tesla or is it Electron? Well, I guess it wouldn't be either because this one's NACS. Never mind.
That's right.
Cool. If that's what the
There you
GM one looks like. It says GM. Let's see here. GM part number rated for 1000 volt, 500 amp, and you can see 1000 volt indeed. It does have the modified connector here where it kind of has these little bulbs out.
Yep.
A lot of the cars, including Hyundai Kia, interestingly, 2026 they moved to NACS, or 2025 they moved to NACS. Their included adapters don't have the actual 1000 volt compliant NACS adapter, which I could see maybe because they currently don't do 1000 volts on Tesla superchargers, but they will.
Eventually,
And you would think you would want your adapter to go ahead and be compliant with it. Anyway, a bit of a weirdness.
You would think.
And you will use that adapter for more than Tesla superchargers. But we're not talking about Hyundai Kia in this. We're talking about GM. We also see this has the, I'm just opening all the boxes.
The J177 2.
Yeah, so if you're a Tesla owner, you've seen this adapter 700 times. Oh, it's not open. Anyway, it looks honestly identical to the Tesla one.
It looks exactly like the Tesla one, yeah.
Cool to see that it's in here, though. I'm glad it comes with it.
Glad to see
I hope
that,
they all come with it, and it's not just like an option.
Yes.
Let me get this thrown back under here. Otherwise, though, not too much else down here. Enough room under the floor for the charge cable. Gigantic tow hook. Only one of them this time.
Yes.
I digress. You can also see back here you get a 12-volt power outlet as well, which is nice. You can also see on this side is your subwoofer, and you've got some speakers back there.
Got some pockets there for storage.
Yep.
As well
Power
as
close
over
the trunk.
here. Yep.
There it goes. It's going to beep. And yeah, if we come around this side that's in the sun.
Yeah, a little warmer over here. I'll hop in the back.
I'll go ahead and pop this open for you.
So yeah.
Take a quick look at this black interior on this one. I think the last one we drove was like the white and blue, wasn't it?
Lots of room back here. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it feels bigger than Equinox. So if you look down here, you have 2 USB-C ports, another 110 outlet.
Nice.
You have these little adjustable fans. No climate control back here, which...
Okay, so no third zone.
Nope. This is running the AKG.
AKG 19-speaker audio.
Yep. 19-speaker audio, yeah. Love this kind of gray up here, too.
Yeah, and traditional door handles. Love to see it.
Love to see it. So kind of give you a view from the front from the back. As you can see, plenty of room. Seats are comfortable. So you drop down here. You do have your 2 cup holders with that. All right, let's hop out.
One last thing to look at. Do you think it has a front trunk?
Let's see.
What do you think? What do you guess?
Well,
I actually don't know the answer. I don't remember.
I don't either. I can't remember what the Equinox had, so I would say no. I was right.
You were right. Looks about the same as the Equinox.
Yep. So if you ever want to know what the inside of a electric EV car looks like,
an Optiq.
An Optiq looks like, I mean,
Now you
there it
know.
is.
All right. Off the cuff, before we head, one thing I want to talk about. One thing I forgot to mention while we were over here. This now supports key cards.
Oh.
And phone as a key's coming.
Sweet.
Sweet. Love to have it.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's go inside.
Let's go inside. All right, we have made it inside our 2026 Cadillac Optiq. All right, Sebastian, give us a tour.
Yeah, so just kind of right off the bat, I forgot how much I liked the way this cabin's laid out.
Yes.
You've got this kind of one big screen, and in this car, I believe it is actually one screen. It's not like doing the whole fake division just behind the same sheet of glass. It's actually one screen. You got the big screen here. You do get Super Cruise on all Optiqs, standard. Love that. You've got tons of piano black here. We'll talk about later. You got this little area here.
I like that color gray.
You got this kind of carbon fiber. It's not even carbon fiber. It's the same fabric just underneath the plastic.
Yeah.
It looks cool though. You have, so this is a touch screen, but you can also control the screen through the knob. You got your 2 cup holders. You got a little storage pocket here. You also have a much larger storage pocket here with 2 USB-C ports.
Oh, I didn't even see those.
And
a larger one at the bottom.
this little floor area that you can sit for like a bag or whatever. You can pop this open. It opens towards me. Sorry. And you can see you have a wireless phone charger. So when it's closed, your phone just kind of sits in right there. Shouldn't move around too much. Pop that open again. And you can see you have 2 more USB-C ports.
So 4 up here total.
And a 12-volt outlet.
Jeez.
And yeah, coming around and looking. So again, this is kind of the entry level. This is the Sport. So if there's no heads-up display, you just have that, and you can see where it would be. It's this big cutout right here.
There's a hole.
And there's the little hole. That's actually your emergency braking. So it flashes on the flashes and then reflects off a windshield, letting you know it's doing emergency braking. That said, you still get big glass roof.
That's
Huge. Doesn't open, just a big panoramic. It does have a shade though, which is nice. I'll leave it open for now. And you can see up above your heads, you have some of the AKG speakers, as well as, is this some different speakers in this headrest? No. But yeah, 19 speaker sound system. This sounds really good. Digital rearview mirror. You can also see there's a interior camera now.
Oh, cool.
That you will, I believe GM is still not fully enabled yet, but is supposed to be coming soon.
Probably would assist with Super Cruise, and if they had a dog mode or pet mode or something.
Something like that. But yeah, this one is the black interior. So the last one we drove had like the lighter color, and this was all blue. I actually kind of like the white. It's a little bit more muted, whatever, because I remember the blue, like all of this carpet down here was
all blue,
too.
yes.
But yeah, I actually kind of like the way that looks. The software is GM's typical Android automotive system. We can go through here real quick. So this is kind of your key up, although I would prefer this to be key up if I was honest. We'll come back in here though. So you have your vehicle status screen. So you can see this comes in, you can get your tire pressure, you can get your energy usage, efficiency, and you can come in and you can hit add to driver display. And now it is here on the left side of my screen, and I can hit remove and it goes away. Come out of here. You have your drive mode selection. So in Cadillacs, they do Tour, Sport, Snow, Ice, and My Mode. And they give you this little indicator of what that is. So Tour is like relax, whatever. Sport, you can see everything cranked up to the right. Snow, Ice. When you have My Mode, which then you can change. So like I want the Tour steering. I want, I think ST, yeah, stealth is silent. So no fake noise. I want squishy brakes, good acceleration. You can also do relax if you want it to feel slower, sport, etc. We'll just leave it like that for now. You have your My Cadillac, your Google Assistant, so you can ask the car to do things. You have Play Store, so you can come in and install apps like Spotify, YouTube Music, things like that. You have your charging menu. So coming in here, you have your charge percent. So you can set your limit down to 30%. Nice. Set that back to 80. You can also do a delayed charging. You have your charge assistant, so it'll show you chargers near you. You can set charge schedules. This supports vehicle to home. Love to see it. I think all of the GM EVs support it now.
Yep.
Including the new Bolt, which I think is really cool.
That's where we kind of figured it out.
Yeah. So you can come in and you can turn on, basically you can set like what level do you want to allow vehicle to home to. You can go all the way down to low. That's actually impressive. So basically what the car says is 0% it will let you do.
Which means 14 miles left.
Yep. 0 miles is what it says. So basically it will let you do vehicle to home until the car dies. That's actually really neat. And then you can turn on or off. You can have, they have accessories for the charge port as well. Very cool. And you can come in here and you can have charging. You want it to beep when it's plugged in, things like that. You can come in here, on-demand preconditioning. Love to see it. Hit start, it'll automatically, actually if I do it, you should probably be able to see. It's gonna, should crank this up here in a minute, assuming the battery's not already at optimal temperature. It might be already. Yeah, I think it's already there. Go ahead and hit stop. You have some battery reserve. So again, you can set up, this is kind of your system wide where you want to start shutting features off. You got your level 2 charge cord limit. Again, only 16 and 24 amps. I'd like to see 32 in there. This is a 48 amp onboard charger. And come back home. You have your 360 cameras on this. So you have the typical kind of GM feature. This is not like on the trucks. This is what we see on like the Equinox and Blazer, where it's just kind of a bit weirder layout in my opinion. But you can choose between like your rear camera standard or overhead, rear sides, and a hitch view. You can go front and do standard, overhead, side. And then you just have some general settings on like, do you want to turn on or off the top-down camera? Do you want your guidelines? Things like that. Go back to standard, and then we'll hit exit. You got your climate menu. So this is just dual zone system, so there's not a whole lot going on in here. But you also have, if you look right below, physical climate controls. And they're actually
Yay.
really nice
They're
to
nice
use. They're
buttons,
pretty
yeah.
clicky, easy to use buttons. You can see this is the screen here at least, so that you can come in and change. But yeah, I like they're nice, easy, clicky. They feel good to use. You also, if you look at your doors on the base trim, you do get heated seats. You can see that's the buttons at the top, as well as you can see your seat controls there on the door.
Yep. Oh, you get two sides. You get.
Yeah, so you can choose between just back seat heat or back and bottom.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty typical for GM vehicles. We'll come in here to Google Maps. Let's see what this route planning looks like, assuming it does it right. Whoops, we wanted to go to Austin, Texas. We are at 77%.
We've been pretty good with our mapping on our most recent reviews. As I say that now, and now it's thinking.
It does show we have full bars.
Yep.
So it should have good cell service, I would think.
I had trouble pulling up Austin, Texas.
Weird.
Yep.
Let's try.
Oh yeah, not able to retrieve posts.
I wonder if it's not connected for some reason.
Hit all stop. Just hit somewhere else.
Well, I needed to be far enough to see if it does route planning. Poor connection.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, if it's like most GM vehicles, the built-in route planning, I mean, it's Google Maps route planning, so it's not anything exceptional or whatever. This does, however, since it's native NACS.
If it lets us.
If it loads.
Yeah. If not, we can check when we get back to.
I was just wanting to see, since it's native NACS, what the charge filters look like. Oh, that's why. Hold on. It needs to hit.
There's the word more on the left. There we go.
Sure.
There we go.
Now, let's see if it works. It needed someone to accept the terms of use.
Better.
There we go. Boom.
3 stops.
3 stops. It's telling us we can use Super Cruise for 7 hours and 14 minutes of a total drive. Nice. Once 3 charging stops, a Tesla supercharger, Tesla supercharger, Tesla supercharger. So native NACS again. So I'm curious if I come in here, if it gives me any options to do. It's only giving me the NACS options. Again, it's like in the CCS cars, it's the other way around. You have to be the owner to tell it that you have purchased a NACS adapter. Here, you have to be the owner to tell it you have purchased a CCS adapter. That said, I do like, since it's using Google Maps, it has really good, fast, live station availability, because that Iona station's been open for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and it's already here. You've got your live availability. There's 2 NACS cables there for both available, and you get live availability on Tesla superchargers now. There's JT. He's got his NACS native cable.
The North Little Rock too, which has just been recently live too.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I do love that since Google Maps is there and it has all of Google Maps data, it gets everything live. You have your controls menu. So this is typical GM stuff. This is, again, you have your glove box release, which is power. You can also do that down at the bottom as well. You get your dome controls. You do have auto park. You can come in your camera, energy transfer. You can hit see more. See doors and windows. You can open a charge port. Yeah. Lights, drive, 1 pedal high. Lane to keep us on. Traction controls on. Cool. You have your garage doors. Nice. Cool.
I'm assuming the garage doors are controlled from these buttons right there.
No, these are actually just for this.
Oh,
so I believe garage door pops up here at the bottom while you're driving.
So it's home link?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is digital rearview mirror. So you can come in here and you can crank the brightness up. You can change the zoom level, and you can kind of change the angle too. So if you don't like what it was looking at, you can angle it around a different way. If you want to take a real quick look over here.
I'm going to pass it to you.
So this is also a touchscreen in which you can interact on this side. So right now you see it's showing me trip computers. I can swipe over and see individual ones. And it says hold to reset. So I'm assuming that's, yep, there it goes. We also have your light control here, and you can turn on or off your lane centering or lane keep. You can also hit that button, and now you can change from trip to layout and choose what you want this to look like. So right now it's on gauge. You can come in here to do tour or sport. And you see sport puts your power output big in the center, whereas tour is speed in the center. energy, which then, again, kind of gives you state of charge, power output, speed on the right. You have a map view,
which is my favorite.
Which is huge.
Yes.
That said, you do lose your state of charge, your percent state of charge.
You do.
It only goes guessometer now.
Yep.
You have your driver assist view, again, no state of charge. And you have just a clean, simple view. Go back to gauge. You can see you got your state of charge here on the left and power output on the right, power output on the left. Golly, I'm all jacked up. Super Cruise. There's your Super Cruise sensors, as well as the one here. Accidentally hit the turn signal. Whoops. You can activate here. There's your Super Cruise button. You also have heated steering wheel. Nice. And then you have your general media controls here. And your regen paddle. And yeah, on my door, I still have my heated seat controls. I have memory seats. Here's my actual seat controls with lumbar. Nice. 4 window switches. Manual door release. Not a whole lot else. Is it time?
Let's take this baby out in the road, Sebastian. All right, as always, Sebastian is behind the wheel because I'm old and he likes to drive. But
Joel, when we let you drive, we end up driving 45 minutes out of our way because you miss your exit 5 times.
The ADHD kicks in and I have trouble multitasking. So that's why in these reviews, if you want to know, I do all the filming. Sebastian can still walk and chew gum at the same time. However, I can't. All right, so first thing I notice about this, these seats are super comfortable in this car.
This is a super comfortable cabin to be in. I haven't really gotten a chance when we come off this red light. I'll try a little bit, so you've been warned if you want to hold on to something to really see if I can tell that this has more power than the last one we drove.
I can tell.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yep.
And it definitely has more power than like the all-wheel drive Equinox we drove 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it does.
Which previously that was the same powertrain as the Optiq.
Yes.
So you can definitely tell it has more gumption than that.
Yes.
Cool. Not a bad improvement. But yeah, and out here on city streets, like the suspension's good.
Mm-hmm.
The road noise is good.
It is a windy day out.
It is windy out there today, but like it sounds fine. And handling, like this one's not the sport one. There is the Optiq V now. I'm gonna need Mark to get one of those.
Yes, Mark. We need him Optiq V.
Because I'm interested in that.
That would be fun. That would be spicy.
The Optiq V has the Lyric V's powertrain, so it's like 650 something horsepower and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, but that's not the focus of this.
Yes.
But like even like this, we're kind of coming around a bit sharp. It's got a little lean to it. It is an SUV. It's not. This one's not the sports one. Makes sense. But even then, it doesn't feel bad. It feels still like you're not. I'm not going to lose control of the car.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's an EV. Typically, the pretty bottom heavy, which helps with that feeling.
Yeah.
We're going to get out here on the highway. We're going to activate Super Cruise. I also want to see if this gets the hands-on lane centering.
Gotcha.
Because they started adding that with the 2026 Vistiq, which was the first car that GM did that actually had true, honest-to-God, hands-on lane centering after, almost 6 years after everyone else did it.
Now, you did mention this car comes with Super Cruise. Is that just Cadillac or is that all GMs?
No, that's just the Optiq.
Just the Optiq.
The Optiq comes standard with Super Cruise. I cannot remember. I think the Vistiq comes standard with it. I think it's optional on the Lyric.
Okay.
I don't remember for 100%. Okay, we are out here. If I hit cruise and set, you can see there, and shows hands on. My hands are on. Does not feel like it is engaged though. Let me go ahead and hit Super Cruise. Oh, Super Cruise.
It's not one of those you have to be signed in for, is it?
I don't think so. I don't remember having this much trouble activating it before though. Because I can see it's showing me the icon.
Yep.
It's showing me hands on. I hit, distraction detected, keep eyes on the road. Yes, sir. I'm only distracted because I want Super Cruise. Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
It just took it a second.
It just had to kick in.
Automatic lane changing. Nice. But I wanted to see hands on. So let me...
That's a cool display.
Yeah, I do like the data it gives you. Hands-on centering on. There you go. Lane centering active, keep hands on. Cool. So that means you don't have to be on the pre-map roads to use it. As long as you have, whatever in it will automatically kick back into Super Cruise. But that means you can finally, in a GM vehicle, do lane centering. It took them forever.
Yeah.
I want to say, what, 2018, 2019 for Hyundai Kia?
Yeah,
So they started kind of pushing that, and other cars I'm sure were before that. But hey, you know what, GM? Good on you. It's finally here.
Welcome to the club.
But yeah, out here on the interstate, actually, I thought it was a bit loud before. This is fine.
Yep.
I don't know what I was hearing. Maybe
we were driving into the wind or something.
Maybe. Yeah, this is perfectly adequate.
We were doing 65 too.
Yeah, we're talking at a normal volume. The car is driving me. It's this is, Super Cruise itself is a hands-off system as long as you're paying attention. So I don't actually have to hold the wheel. And I can, even while I'm doing this, like if it came up on a car, it'll automatically lane change. I can also just
hit the blinker,
give it a blinker. It'll look for the opening, and then you'll see it change lanes. And it does it quick. It doesn't really meander about to do that.
And it's not too aggressive like the EV9 is, which just rams you over as quickly as possible.
Which is funny because my Ioniq 5 is like the world's slowest lane changer.
Yep. But then again, I don't have it in mine. So
true.
This guy trying to come over on you?
Sure is. Anyway, but yeah, it drives perfectly fine.
I forgot how much. Because it's been a while. It's almost been a year since probably we did the Optiq. It was one of our first ones.
Will you get that sticker out and remind me how much this is?
Sure. Where's the opening for the glove box?
Oh, shoot. It's on the screen. Sorry.
There you go. So if we're looking at the sticker here, so base is 51.5, and when you add all the options, comes up to 57.4.
Okay, so and the options on this are what? The $3,500 for?
It's the $3,500 for the propulsion electric all-wheel drive, so bump it up to all-wheel drive, which is weird. California emission requirements includes GM. It includes the NACS adapters.
Okay.
So that's where you get the $600 from.
Oh, dang. So we still charge you for them. Dang.
Yep. And then you get the interior protection package.
Which is the all-weathers.
Yep, and the lining and the little cleaning kit we saw back there, which is $375 in the all-weather format. So that's where you get the additional $44.75 from.
So really, for me, I would just buy the one that's rear-wheel drive. I would too. We don't need the extra power. Yep. And at 51 plus however much the destination is, which it looks like it's $14.95.
Yep. Range on this too is 303 miles. I'm sure it would go up on the rear-wheel drive. Probably like 315, 320.
Yeah, probably around 320. Yep. I mean, the Equinox is 319.
Yep.
So it should be right in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just buy the rear-wheel drive. And at 51 grand, that's not too much higher than a fully loaded Equinox is.
Yeah.
And this is better. This is nicer. I like this more than I like even the fully loaded Equinox.
It's a Cadillac.
It's supposed to be nicer.
Yes.
It's supposed to be good.
The screens are nice. The button's nice. It's just a lot
And it's
nicer.
like the only option I'm missing on this that the base trim doesn't have is I would like ventilated seats.
Yeah.
You don't care. I do.
Yeah, I don't. I don't use ventilated seats even in the summertime. Well, yeah. I mean, I had a Model Y for all those years. Didn't have ventilated seats. So
yeah.
It was fine for me.
I would want the ventilated seats. But that would be just a jump up a trim level, which if I remember right, it's not even that big of a lift between trims. So yeah. I think this is a good time. We're getting off. We're going to roll back around and get back up to Parker Cadillac, but we can go ahead and cut this clip, and when we come back, we can do our final thoughts.
See you in a bit. We have made it back here to Parker Cadillac. So final thoughts, I'll start. This just is a very nice, luxury, small EV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got great, if you think about it, like you said, we drove the Equinox. Same platform, same guts, everything, but this just looks so much nicer on the inside than the Equinox does.
Yeah. And it looks nicer on the outside.
It looks nicer on the outside too, with the front grille, how it lights up, the way the lighting works. It just looks nicer.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this thing as far as especially for the price.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of options at that price, obviously, but this one still feels like a pretty strong competitor to me, especially if you kind of want that more traditional luxury feel, right? Because that's kind of Cadillac's whole thing is they have that more traditional feel. They're not necessarily going for the whole minimalism effect like a Tesla would or a new Revolver.
There's lots of buttons in this car.
There's lots of buttons. There's lots of hard controls, which I like.
Yep.
I like having these nice hard physical climate controls with wouldn't use the dial that much because I can reach the screen.
Probably just maybe for volume.
I would just want volume. But they take that. It has Super Cruise. Super Cruise does really well. It took me a second. I don't know why it took a second to activate. Usually I don't have that much issue at a Super Cruise. I don't know what that was. But once it was on,
it may have been a mapping issue or something.
But once it was on, it works fine. And I appreciate that you get hands-on lane centering now.
Yeah.
I do wish, like in Hyundai Kia, you could separate it from cruise control. So you could just have lane centering but still be manually doing your throttle. But I digress. But yeah, I mean, really, this is as far as kind of the entry-level Cadillac EVs go, this one's, I mean, I think it's a winner.
Yep.
I like this fabric material all over. You know, it's like you can get far enough in, like if you get to the very bottom of a door card, you kind of get some of that more traditional GM plastic.
Yep.
But even like the upper having this carpeted material
And
on
the
it.
leather.
And then you got the leather, you
Yeah.
got the metal speaker grills, you got nice manual door releases, got this big glass roof. This is a good place to be, and you have decent range.
Yep.
You know, 300, and this one's 303 miles. I'm assuming 319, 320 if you get the rear-wheel drive car, which is honestly the one I would get.
Yep.
Because I don't need the extra power. I don't really need all-wheel drive. Save $3,500, get the rear-wheel drive. Maybe use that $3,500 to then jump up to the premium sport trim.
Yep.
To add in things like the heads-up display and ventilated seats. Kind of how I think I would spec it.
I totally agree. Yep.
I would like to see GM, which GM has been doing tons of over-the-air updates on these cars. I'm just curious while we're talking, where they've gone in and they have actually improved the vehicle charging and things like that through over-the-air. I would love to see, you know, right now these have a peak DC fast charge rate, 150 kilowatts. I would love to see if, you know, maybe 2027, maybe they can find a way to bump that to 200.
200, 225.
Realistically, I guess they can't, because it's such a low voltage battery pack. You know, 500 amps is realistically the most you're going to be trying to put into.
Yep.
You know, Tesla will put more than 500 amps into their cars, but then they end up with the whole other issues that you get, like Tesla superchargers smoking cables and things like that, and then having super early thermal limits. This needs 500 amps to charge at 150 kilowatts.
Yep.
So that's kind of where you're at. But I would like to see then, if they can't make that peak rate come up, can they continue to improve the curve? You know, because when these cars came out, we were like 40, 45 minutes, 10 to 80.
Yeah.
Now they're in that 35 to 40 minute, 10 to 80. And that's all through software updates.
Maybe we get down to 25 to 30.
Maybe we can bump it down to 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and kind of go from there. This one is on Android version 14. Good to see.
Yep.
So that is the newest version that you can get from Android Automotive. Love to see it. Doesn't currently have any updates available, but it looked anyway. But yeah, I really like the Optiq, man.
Me too. It's a great car. It's a great deal. And yeah, it's always been on my short list of cars to possibly purchase here in the next year. Yep. All right. Once again, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, before you leave, tap that notification icon, subscribe so you know when content like this drops. And we will see you again on another EV Geek Studio review. So long, everyone.